Yes, so our first story is a story that brings me a bit of delight. Let's go to the touchscreen and sort of deal with that as quickly as we can. Welcome to the show. Okay, so you see on my table today, can you take up the Good Evening Ghana on the bottom left? I want them to see this. You see on my table today pieces of a Kofi juice. There's a reason why it's here. A few pieces of a Kofi juice. Leave it there. I'll share with you why it is here. But this is the commanding papa, and there's something I like about the Archbishop, you know. After Sunday's church service, there was a video going around with the Archbishop really boogieing on the altar of Almighty God in his church at the Christian Action Faith Ministries, or the Action Chapel as they call it these days. He was really dancing nicely. And the message from his dance, the peacefulness from his dance, the freedom of spirit that you observe from the Archbishop's dance is the message I want to communicate with our viewers tonight and share with you. Let's see what the Archbishop was doing on stage on Sunday. That's by the commanding Archbishop speaking and dancing in his church. Good evening to you, Papa. You know, you have to look at Papa and you have to like him. The reason why I'm playing this video is that some of our Papa gives a certain example that our leaders should have. And he's not the only one in that category. I'm going to share with you other people who also do that. For Archbishop Duncan Williams, viewers, those of you who know him closely and those who don't know him that well, there's something that's settled about him. Whatever you see is what you get. There's no hypocrisy about him. Absolutely none. There's no unnecessary protocol about Archbishop. Absolutely none. Whatever you see is what you get. And it worries me when we find leaders in our society and our community that are always trying hard to give a certain impression of themselves when the actual is sometimes different. It's not a good thing for a society where some of our leaders, if we find people who are like that, who want to come into leadership, we should tell them something. Our society should completely eschew that kind of behavior. If you're a leader and you say Y is Y, is B is B, W is W, a leader, whatever we see is what we should get. You shouldn't be a leader and then we see, look at the Papa, he's a pastor, he's on the stage on Sunday. He knew that people were filming. It doesn't matter to him, he's dancing before God. You know the famous scripture where King David was dancing before the Lord and his wife said that he was naked and he got angry and he said that I'm dancing before the Lord. That's what the Papa was doing. So I'm putting his photograph here to congratulate Archbishop for giving us that kind of leadership. What you see with Papa is what you get. He's not the only one. This president here, he's like that. What you see is what you get. There's nothing hidden about Akufo-Addo. Absolutely nothing hidden about him. What you see is what you get. It's not. There's no other. Watch this video. The day he went to the function, and he saw the chiefs over there. The chiefs were sitting when the national anthem was played. It turned out that particular chief said he was unwell. But you see, any other president or some other presidents, given the protocol that surrounds the situation, will call the regional minister and say, "Look, tell your people that next time the national anthem is played, they should stand up." No, you don't. That's not Akufo-Addo. He was outraged by the situation, and he told the guy, the major, said, "Look, show that video, show the video." Oh, the video is not ready. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Okay. All right. So they will get the video in a minute. So that's Akufo-Addo, and I mean, some of you have seen that video, haven't you? Okay, let's move on. I like Kwabena Agyapong too. He's like that. The former general secretary of the NPP, Kwabena Agyapong, is like that. Whatever you see is what you get. You know, he campaigned hard for the NPP election, and then he lost, and he said the party has decided that's the way to go. And then he's speaking for Dr. Bawumia, the same person that he campaigned against, and he did a clean campaign. Kwabena Agyapong is very forceful about his views, and whatever you see is what you get. I like people like that. Harry Sawyer, the former minister for education, when we were in Legon, we used to fight him in those days. We were doing a luta against him when he was education minister. Thing with Harry Sawyer is you go and negotiate for loan, and sometimes the people at the Ministry of Finance are sort of listening to the Nooks leaders and all that. Harry Sawyer will tell you that, hey, Nooks, I cannot go beyond 3.5% of that. If that's what you want, I can't give it to you. And you get out of my office. If you want to talk, I'll listen to you. Harry Sawyer was forthright with the students. Whatever you see with Harry Sawyer is what you get. That's why he won elections as independent member of parliament. Then he joined the party and won elections as a member of a party. What you see with Harry Sawyer is usually what you get. Kwesi Pratt, one of my good friends. Kwesi Pratt is like that. Whatever you see with Kwesi Pratt is what you get. There's no hypocrisy about Kwesi Pratt. There's nothing hidden and there's nothing you have to suspect. Whatever he's thinking, he will tell you that, look, this is what I'm thinking. And I think that what you are doing is very silly. He'll tell you. He'll call me and say, hey, Akunta, what kind of rubbish were you spewing out on TV last night? Then I'll start laughing. I'll say, Kwesi, what have I done? He said, but what were you talking about? I said, I'll go take your time. We'll argue. What you see with Kwesi Pratt is what you get. He's not angry with you. He doesn't dislike you. He's just telling you that he vehemently disagrees with the position that you took on TV last night. That's when you have people like that, it's great, isn't it? It's great. Yeah, J.J. Rawlings was like that also. J.J. Rawlings was always like that. What you see is what you get. He's very frank, straightforward with his matters. When you have leaders like that, it works, you know. And Kojo Pienim, he's not a favorite person of some people. He doesn't care. Kojo Pienim is like that. The former chief of staff, one of the best chief of staff that people say we used to have. You know, Kojo Pienim is straightforward like that. What you see is what you get. He doesn't mince words and all of that. Why am I talking about what you see is what you get with leadership? Why am I starting from the Archbishop? And what's the point I'm making? What point am I driving at? I'm driving at a point of a leader who is completely different and appears to be filled with a lot of personal consciousness of image and quite a lot of hypocrisy too. And I'm referring to my friend, Dr. Dampare. Look at this. Dr. Dampare goes to buy Koko and Cartier. He wants the photograph on video, on a web, internet. Why? Is it not even dangerous for an IGP to be... I like the lady though. The lady is quite happy that Dr. Dampare bought the Koko and Cartier for, which is okay. But why did he get down from the GP1? One of the most secured vehicles in Ghana is GP1. After the president, after the vice president, after maybe chief of staff, and the speaker and all of that. One of the most secured vehicles in Ghana ought to be the Ghana Police Service 1. That's his car. It doesn't move alone. To be within the radius of the IGP in this manner, you have to be a police officer. You can't come near the IGP like that. Not in Ghana, not in any country. So this photograph was organized by Dampare. Because an ordinary person will not get close to Dampare. And we discussed this in the studio this evening when we were looking at the photograph. Somebody asked me that, boss, maybe some ordinary person took it. I said, no, you can't get close to the IGP within the radius of which this photograph is taken. It is he who organized it. Why does our IGP want people to know that he went to buy Koko and Cartier? What's the point? This is what I'm talking about. Duncan Williams is free, straight. What you see is what you get with Dampare. What you see is not what you get. Why? What is the point? Your IGP doing your work every day. We have to be told that, oh, he went to buy Koko and Cartier. What is the meaning of that? Viewers, please explain to me. What is the point? What is he hiding? What is the facade that he's so struggling so hard to establish that facade? What is the facade he wants to establish? So that when he goes to buy Koko and Cartier, we have to know that he went to buy Koko. I like his shoes though. Nice classic police shoes. I like his shoes. And I kind of like what he's wearing as well. He has some dark spectacles on, but why is he not wearing it? Because he's in the sun. You know. So I like his outfit. I like his shoes. But why are we being told that our Inspector General of Police went to buy what we call Kofi Brookman? What is the point? What is he trying to make? I am a journalist doing showbiz. So if I go and buy Koko and Katie and I say, hey, I bought Koko and Katie, that's okay. This is the Inspector General of Police. What is his business in showing photographs of him other than conducting his police activities? Why are you showing? So that the Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, go and buy Koko and Katie and put on social media that we should look. He went to buy Koko and Katie. Okay, so running mate season has come. This evening we'll be talking about some. If Dr. Dampare is wanting to run for running mate, these days I think people are running for running mate. If he wants to run as running mate, he should tell us. If he wants to run as a political authority for elective office, he should tell us. Because his role is not elected. His role is appointed by the president based purely, fundamentally on competence. And so why is he always trying to create some impression? The other day he went to cry at the commission, and I've had so many police officers telling me that you spoke so well. I've had police commissioners, some of the people he went to the commission with, some of the COPs who sat behind him, have told me that you spoke so well. We didn't like the way, we didn't like his posture. He was making the police service look weak in crying before a commission, the Inspector General of Police, the Chief Constable. Why is he doing that? Viewers, if you have answers, please tell me. I've ended my sermon. But I'll come to Dampare next week because we just have respect for Parliament's work. So we have had respect for Parliament's committee. We know what is happening over there because the media who cover it tell us. They are putting the report together. There will be a lot in that report, a whole lot in that report. And we will be focusing on it. From next week, we'll come back. We understand that Dampare has been having parties upon parties. He had some journalists with him. We know what he told them. Then he had market women with him. We know what he told them. If you hear these things and how he engages with these people, sometimes you will wonder. But anyway, no problem. Dampare was buying Kofi Brookman, so we all need to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, big announcement. Inspector General of Police, Dr. Ekufu Dampare, he bought Koko and Katie from a vendor whose thing is on some cement blocks with a red Coca-Cola in there. The vendor is in a nice dynamic apron, and Dr. Dampare is in beautiful shoes and a very nice dark blue African print. So that's the announcement. Viewers, please don't forget. Never forget. Dr. Dampare, he doesn't want you to forget. He wants you to remember it all the time. That's why he put a photograph. He bought Kofi Brookman. Okay, that's the end of the sermon. Let's close with the Archbishop's dance and then we'll take it on. Let's watch the Archbishop. Look at it. Sing with him. Dance with him. Igwe. "26 minutes to the top of the hour, 10 o'clock. This is Good Evening Ghana and it's live. This is Daily Graphic, isn't it? Now, we didn't get, I have some very clever young people here. Very clever young people. Because this Daily Graphic has been shown on social media. Somehow, for all the photographs you see of this particular newspaper, the date is missing. So we're looking at it, and you know that we are big on verification. We're looking at it and we're saying that, but the date is missing. The date is not there. We all sort of believe that it's in 2016 and believe that it happened when John Mahama was president. But the date is missing. Then one of the young people said, hey, I can see something. Here, 77 days to election 2016. So we subtract from December 7th. I nearly clapped. You see, when you have brilliant young people working with you, it helps. Very, very brilliant. We were looking for dates. We didn't find it. And then he said, but the thing is written here, 77 days to election. So then we put it there, Wednesday, 21st September 2016. That's the date of the publication. Because we subtracted from December 7th back, and that's how we got the date of the newspaper. And it's Wednesday, 21st September 2016, verified. Okay, we do have the online. So then somebody said, let's check online. I have really brilliant people here, I have to say. So we went online. New teacher licensing starts from, it was on September 21. That's when Graphic Online published the story. So we know that it's here. So we are trying to put the President Mahama conversation in proper perspective. He says licensure exams should be cancelled. And he talked about the reasons why licensure exams should be cancelled. But this is the problem of this election 2024. Because Dr. Bawumia has been vice president before, and because John Mahama has been president before, for everything that they promised, we will measure both of them against what you did. So President Mahama didn't, maybe he had forgotten, and I'll come to his advisors tonight. Tonight I'm going to be very hard on President Mahama's advisors because they have to lift the ante. They have to lift it. Maybe he had forgotten, maybe nobody researched. So he made absolutely no reference to this. But this is John Mahama's time, his Deputy Minister of Education, and his Minister of Education, who is potentially his running mate again, Nana Opoku-Agyeman, the two together launched the licensure exams. What is President Mahama talking about? You have launched licensure exams as a graphic front page story on Wednesday, 21st September 2016. Then you come to say that you have changed your mind. That's allowed. Change your mind, no problem. But tell the audience that I started it and now I don't want it anymore. Don't talk about it as if you are critical of a current policy by your opponent, because this licensure exam grew out of the belly of John Mahama's government. John Mahama's cabinet is what birthed the licensure exam, and everybody applauded it. And I'll show you today the counter messages coming from the Teachers Association criticizing President Mahama that we don't want you to abandon it. And then we'll also talk about why there's licensure exam in the same place. So this is the foundation. The foundation of the licensure exam is in the graphic front page on Wednesday, 21st September 2016. It was a policy of John Dramani Mahama's government. That's the truth of the matter. That's why we are here. We are here to synthesize, to ventilate, and to show the truth. This is the truth of the matter. So fair enough, NDC can say, we have changed our minds. As they say, only a fool doesn't change his mind. So they are allowed to change their mind. But in changing their mind, they should tell us that we originated it. We have now taken off a U-turn because this sounds like people are concerned about licensure exam because they don't pass. There are a lot of them. We are desperate for votes. So let's tell them what they want to hear. We will not allow this election to go that way. Good evening, Franklin Cudjoe. Thank you very much for what you said about licensure exams. I'll come to that. It's part of my presentation. Now, though, let's hear what John Mahama said.
Ezu, ain't you there see about licensure exam? No, you be here free home. Ezu, ain't you there see about licensure exam? No, you be here free home. Ezu, ain't you there see about licensure exam? No, you be here free home.
To wait, that they say about licensure exam, you be here free. When we come to power, or if we come to power, we will take away the licensure exam. That's what he said. Who brought licensure exam? John Dramani Mahama. This is 21st September. Okay, let's move on the conversation. Why do we have licensure exam at all? Why do we have licensure exam? What is the point? What is the purpose? So you look at different categories of professions. So there are architects, there are lawyers, there are journalists, there are nurses, there are doctors, there are teachers, and there are engineers, if you like. If you look at the category of services that are run by these service providing professions, you would observe that for a large category of them, the individuals who need the service actually choose them. So you choose your lawyer, it's up to you. You choose your architect, it's up to you if you need one. You choose an engineer, except they are working in the public service. But with a doctor, you are unwell, you walk into a hospital, the doctor that is there is the doctor that you have. You walk into a hospital, the nurse that is there is the nurse that you have. You are born, you are 5 years old, they take you to school. You walk into a classroom, is the teacher that you have. Because these people occupy these important positions all over the world, licensure exams are taken so that we are sure that they are on their toes. Doctors take exam. Doctors take exam. John Mahama said in the video that you go to training college, you do the exam, you finish training college after 4 years, and then they say take another exam. That's what he said. I don't know where that video is. They have to find that video for me. The full part. He said it. That you finish university, they have it. Let's see that video. That's the video I'm looking for. Let's play that video. Let's play it.
And to assume say, and you say, what shall say colleges of education no? Adi a omo chere nkwadaa no, enu pempens ebebia e wo say edura. E wo say wo ye hu bibi na omutimi eye omo exams no mo pie. Eye dan na nkwadaa on beba training college 4 years. No mature exam. Afibia omo chere exam. Afibia omo chere exam. Edru 4th year no mature final exam. No more pass it. Ya pass here we are just on my teacher for no. No ask what I say almost I'm bachelor exam bibium and son of my job to be some teacher for. Ezu ain't here there see a bar licensure exam no you be year free ho. Ni ahwe nhihia ya beye and making sure say nipa bia obekọ college of education obewie no na eche say oye teacher ni akukudam oye teacher ni a onim mejuna e wo so obeye.
So you saw it. Now this is the video that we're looking for. This is the correct one. President Mahama says you go to training college, which is true. 4 years you finish. Why are you writing another exam? But that's 4 years. This guy here spent 7 years in school. He takes the exam after he's become a doctor. Otherwise, if he doesn't take it for a while, he will not be allowed to practice medicine anymore. Because medicine is an essential service, and you walk into the hospital, you don't choose your doctor, you don't choose your nurse, you don't choose your teacher. So we want to make sure that the children in school are bright and have the right quality of and caliber of teachers to work with them. So every year we have to examine the teachers. The teachers may not like it. Of course they won't like it. So I won't like it too. But if it's compulsory, I will have to do it. But when a politician says that this measure, which is so necessary, is a catalyst measure to ensure that the teachers are on the straight and narrow, which is necessary for the young generation, which is necessary for the future of Ghana, which is necessary for getting our children on the straight and narrow, the politician says that I'm going to abandon it because he wants votes. My goodness, the civil society see that. I like what Franklin Kujo said. I'm going to refer to it. But the civil society see President Mahama say these things and they say nothing about it. Is that how we're going to run 2024's campaign? A measure that is important for the children, 7-year-olds, 2-year-olds, 10-year-olds, to be taught well, as they are taught in England. We didn't have licensure exams since 2016 that it came, and everybody applauded it. Now this is important to set our teachers on the straight and narrow so that they can raise our children well. The president who is running for election says that I want votes, so I am going to cancel this process, and people were applauding in the room, and civil society is quiet. Is this an NDC MPP matter? This is not an NDC MPP matter. This is a matter for the future of the children. Those of you watching me, this is a matter for the future of your children. It's a matter for the future of the country. It's a matter for the quality of education going forward beyond 2024. President Mahama says, I'm not interested in the quality of education. I don't care about your children. I say I will stop the licensure exam. Teachers should just teach forever. You leave Ekropon Training College, you teach for 100 years, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen, you just teach. Whether you are going sliding away, whether you are going left, whether there are new things that you don't understand, so you have to be educated in it, whether there are new computer programs that you have to be educated in it, all of these things form part of the licensure exam. President Mahama says, forget it. Why is he saying that? He's looking for votes. But is that how to find votes? We have seen it before in 2020. They came, they said, Okada something. Hey, everybody jumps on it. How can a president who is promising a so-called 24-hour economy be saying that whilst I'm promising 24-hour economy, your children's future is going to be in jeopardy because this licensure exams that makes our teachers better, I'm going to cancel it. Hear what the, what's their name? The group. Okay, so this is the doctor I was talking about. This is the nurse I was talking about. Nurses write licensure. They do. All over the world, they do. And it's a simple reason, isn't it? As I've said already, you don't choose your doctor, you don't choose your nurse, you don't choose your teacher. You go to primary school, where I went to primary school in Birmingham, you enter there and say, Mrs. Nicholas, you don't know her, she's there. So you don't choose the teacher. That's why the policy will make sure that the teacher is on the straight and narrow, and that across the country, anywhere you are born, whether you are born in Northeast, whether you are born in South, you are born in Ashanti, you are born in Eastern region, you would all have the same quality of teachers teaching you, because there has been a global assessment, national global assessment of the teachers. And we know, sitting at the Ministry of Education, sitting at the GES, they know the quality of the teachers across the country because they have gone through the licensure exams. This is what President Mahama, who initiated it, whose minister announced it, says that I want to abolish it. Why? Because there are votes to be taken from the majority of the people who may not do well in the licensure exams. They don't want the exam at all. They don't want to put in the hard work for your children's future, for the future of the nation, for the future generation. Any leader who says something to you in this election that will jeopardize the future of the youth, you should give him 0 marks. A leader who says something out of politics that will jeopardize the future of our youth, Ghanaians should mark him 0. And that's what President Mahama has just done. How can you say that you would cancel licensure exams just because you want votes? How can a leader talk like that? One who has been president before, and one under whose presidency this licensure exam was initiated. That's very dangerous. Now hear this. SETAC rejects Mahama's proposal to scrap licensure exams. Let's go into it. It's as follows. The Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana has opposed a proposal by John Mahama, the flag bearer of the opposition National Democratic Congress, to abolish the licensure exams for teacher trainees. During his Building Ghana tour in the Bono region, Mr. Mahama pledged to cancel the licensure exams, contending that subjecting teacher trainees to an additional assessment for qualification is unnecessary. Contrary to Mahama's stance, SETAC maintains that the licensure exams play a crucial role and should not be done away with. The association underscores the significance of these exams in ensuring the competence and quality of future teaching professionals. Have you seen that? I mean, did President Mahama and his team consult these teachers before they stood in the Bono region and announced? And I don't blame President Mahama, I blame his advisors. I always come back to that. Presidents and governments and leaders don't work on their own. This is something that has been packaged for him by his advisors. And tonight I'm going to be very hard on them. Please, you have to be patriotic, President Mahama's advisors. I know you want to win votes. MPP want to win votes. If I'm running for parliament, I want to win votes too. So that's okay, that's granted. But let's be patriotic. Let's think about Ghana. Ghana has been thrown overboard for so long. It is not in this generation that we'll continue to do that. We cannot do that. This is the reason why we criticize our forebears and said that they should have done this better and done that better. We can't continue to do that in Ghana anymore. Why are we doing this to ourselves? You want votes, so the future of the children doesn't matter? The future of the children doesn't matter? I mean, what's the point? Listen to the teachers. They say that the Association of Teachers and Colleges of Education underscores the significance of these exams in ensuring the competence and quality of the future teaching professionals. Prince Obin Hima, the president of SETAG, in an interview with City News, emphasized the distinct nature of teacher training compared to other professionals, highlighting the profound impact that educators can have on entire generations, either positively or negatively. That's a fact, isn't it? Some people don't like geography and have never liked geography. They are 62 because their teacher when they were 12 years old messed them up on geography. So at 62, he doesn't like geography. He's never liked, doesn't want to see it. Some people don't like physics and they are 65 and they stopped liking physics at 13 and they don't want it anymore because of the teacher. Some people were young and thought they were not good in mathematics. They became 21 and they were sharks at mathematics. And they asked themselves, I thought I didn't know mathematics. And they said, it is your teacher when you were 9. So as the people are saying, the association is saying here, teachers have an indelible impression on young people for the future. It is for that reason that the policy, it's very, very important. That's what we have control over. The policy must address the quality of teachers all the time. The NDC and John Mahama say, no, that's not important. They don't need that. They don't care about the future of the children. Is it because the children don't have a vote? Is that because the children don't have a vote? Even if you tell them you don't care about them, they cannot vote, but their parents can vote. You want the teachers who don't pass the licensure exams to vote for you. You are not encouraging them that they should work harder and pass the licensure exam. You are telling them that they don't have to do it at all. Is that the kind of government we want in Ghana? I don't understand it. Is that the kind of government we want in Ghana? This has nothing to do with NPP or NDC. This is the future of Ghana, which is at stake in the election 2024, and which is in the hands of the people contesting the election. The future of Ghana at stake in 2024 is in the hands of the people contesting the election. John Dramani Mahama being one of them. And what he says, together with his running mate, Jenna Opoku-Agyeman, who was Minister for Education. And but then Jenna Opoku-Agyeman just remind President Mahama that, oh, this licensure thing, we did it all. So you have to tell them you are changing your mind. Was she not there? This is Jenna Opoku-Agyeman here. Thank you very much, producer. This is Jenna Opoku-Agyeman. This is Mr. Alex Chairman, Deputy Minister of Education, who made the announcement. Alex Chairman on the left. He made the announcement. That which you saw on the graphic front page. It was an announcement made by Alex Chairman. Alex Chairman here made the announcement. John Mahama's Deputy Minister for Education. Jenna Opoku-Agyeman, Minister for Education and the presumptive running mate of President Mahama, was the Minister for Education. Together, they wrote the licensure examination. They brought it to being. Together, they wrote it. They brought it to being. Together. And now, their boss says that we will cancel it. Play the John Mahama video again. Play it again. Play. Have a look. Play the longer version, please. Play it.
And to assume say, and yes, what the colleges of education no, at the almochre nkwadano, enu pempens ebebia, e was a draw. I was a young bibi, na omutimi a yomo exams no mupie. A year then nkwada, Beba Training College, 4 years. No mature exam. Afibia almochro exam. Afibia almochro exam. A drew 4th year, no mature final exam. No more pass it. Ya pass here, we are just on my teacher for no. No, as Waka say, almost a mature exam, bibium, and son of my Joma to be some teacher for. Ain't yet there, see a bar, licensure exam, no, you be here free. Near she share your baye and making sure say Nipa bia obeko College of Education obey you no na che say or your teacher ni akukudam or your teacher ni a onim mejuna e wo so obeye.
Thank you, Franklin Cudjoe. And I don't know whether Franklin Cudjoe is NPP or is NDC. It doesn't even matter. And I don't care. But he's civil society. He's a gatekeeper. And he did the right thing. He said here in his post, it is wrong for John Mahama to say that he's going to cancel the teacher licensure exams, looking at the type of answers prospective teachers provided in their recent licensure exams. That's Franklin Cudjoe, CEO of Imani. He says it is wrong. The rest of civil society, what is happening? Do you like what John Mahama is saying? He says he's going to cancel licensure exams, and he said it to wild applause in the Bono region. You heard him. His party faithfuls applauded him. Something that is going to jeopardize the future of our people. Put the photographs of John Mahama's principal advisors. Put the photograph there. Let me ask them personal questions on the John Mahama's principal advisors, Samia, Jemfi, and the rest. I hope you have it. Okay. Yes. Good evening, Dr. Manibuama, Sami Jemfi, and Fifi Kwete. Gentlemen, don't you have children? I know you all do have children. Do you want your children to go to a school where the teacher is not taking licensure exams and therefore it's not good? Omani Boama, you're a doctor. You went all the way to medical school. Your colleague doctors, don't they take the exam? In fact, Omani Boama himself, even when he was minister, he was taking the exam. So recently he was practicing in Accra. He told me himself that if I'm looking for him, he pointed out where he will be. It's a hospital here in Accra. Because he took his exam. I said, oh, you are practicing. Oh, even when I was minister, I was always going to write the exam. This is Omani Boama. He's a communications director. He's a technology director for John Mohammed's campaign. Doesn't he know that licensure exams are as important for teachers as they are for doctors? We cannot allow this country to be ruined by people's inordinate ambition to get power. We cannot allow this country to be ruined by people's inordinate ambition to get power. We cannot do that. Power is available for somebody to collect by all means, but they must come to the path together with the Ghanaian people, telling us good policies, not this kind of policy that is so populist and people go and write exam and they don't pass. The whole country is outstanded by the performance of the licensure exam. A presidential candidate, one who has been president before, comes and says, I will cancel the exam. Wow, that's what he said. He said, I will cancel the exam. And Sabit Mfi and Fifi Kwete are watching Omani Boama as well, who is a doctor and who understands the value and the import of licensure exam. God has blessed you to be a policy maker, Omani Boama. You will be failing in your Christian responsibility as a Catholic. If God hasn't blessed you to be a policy maker, you are going to erect policies that jeopardize the future of our children. Policies that jeopardize the future of our children. You can't do that, Omani Boama. Remember your Christian faith. This is immoral. It is completely immoral for a presidential candidate to promise something that will jeopardize the future of children because children are not going to vote. So you jeopardize their future because you don't need their vote. That's what the NDC is saying. I don't believe this came from John Mahama. I believe it came from his advisors. And we must watch them well because this country doesn't belong to them. Neither does this country belong to Dr. Bawumia. This country belongs to you and I. It doesn't belong to MPP or NDC. We cannot allow them to continue to do these things. NDC cannot jeopardize the future of our children because they won't vote. And we all sit down and keep quiet. Thank you, Franklin Cudjoe. God will bless you for that, for standing up to the truth. What is this? What kind of campaign do they want to wage? You talk about 24-hour economy and you say you are going to jeopardize the future of children. What is the meaning of this? It is so unpatriotic. It is so immoral. I don't even understand. What is the meaning of this? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. This is interesting, isn't it? This is so interesting. Policy is what we are talking about, isn't it? Now, President Mahama, I'm moving to another segment. Policy is what we are talking about. President Mahama is able to make these promises because until 2016 election, Ghanaian politicians, they don't make promises because whenever they made promises, their promises were not obeyed and they hooted at politicians. So politicians come and say, I will make, and people joke with it. Comedians will say, oh, Ghanaian politicians will come and say, I will put a train through the desert for votes, and everybody was laughing. Politicians were laughing stock. You know who changed that? It was Ado Dankwa Akufo-Addo. In 2016, he said, I will make free SHS. Everybody doubted it, that, oh, he can't. And including the NDC said he cannot do it. He said, I will make SHS free. And because he said, I'll make SHS free, and because he was able to do it, now politicians can promise. So President Mahama can now promise something, and people will take him serious because Akufo-Addo has showed the way. Akufo-Addo is the only politician coming back from Busia, from Nkrumah era, who said, I will do, and he has done, on a major policy like free SHS, which was not there before. Now that's the essence of policy. That's the essence of politics. Akufo-Addo said something else. I will do one district, one factory. The other day I interviewed Okuji Blacko. I'll get you the video, where he said that of the one, this was in 2018, of the one district, somebody sent me this video this week, that look at Ablakwa. Of the one district, one factory, he told us, Ablakwa told us, that only 9 have been done. Sometime after that, I met the president as a function. And I walked up to him to greet him. I said, hey, Mr. Man, I heard that the NDC MP was on your show, and he said that we've done only 9 factories. Did you ask him how many they did? The president was quite excited. He said, we've done 9 factories, but he's lying. We've done 62 at that time. This was 2019 also. Now, President Akufo-Addo said, one district, one factory. One village, one dam, free SHS. 3 major flagship policies. Today, Ghanaian politicians can promise because he delivered. How did he deliver on one district, one factory? That's why this is here. This is a Ekunfi juice, ladies and gentlemen. Before 2016, it wasn't there. There was no name in Ghanaian lingua where we say Ekunfi juice. It wasn't there. A factory was dug with pickaxe. They went to Ekunfi in the central region. They dug with pickaxe, cut the sword, put the processing inside. Today, Ekunfi juice is here. I'm going to be distributing it to everyone in the studio. That's policy working. This is policy working. Mikael, have one. That's Ekunfi juice. It is policy working, isn't it? It's policy working. That's how it works. This is policy. It wasn't there. It's there now. Okay, my ladies, you all grab one Ekunfi juice, okay? 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. Okay, floor manager, you get the Ekunfi juice, yeah? I'm coming all the way. Yeah, we are distributing Ekunfi juice in the studio to show that policy works. And policy works doesn't mean people should come and promise anything. They should thank Akufo-Addo for politicians being believed. Okay, give this to Terry. Terry, have this one. Yeah, I'm going to the MCR. I'm going to share to everybody. That is what they call policy. Policy has worked. It wasn't there, now it is there. It wasn't there. There was no Ekunfi juice anywhere. It wasn't there, now it's there. Okay, so we are sharing it here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Kofi, take this one. This is for you. Maureen. Dennis. Okay. Nisaki. Oh, the 3 of you. Okay, I'll come back. I'll come back if I can. Yes. So we share the juice. Ekunfi juice. So we've managed to share the juice for the people in the studio. 3 people didn't get, but it's okay. But viewers, you get the point I'm making, don't you? You understand the point I'm making. This is a policy that was not there. A presidential candidate said, I'll create 1 district in each factory. I'll create 1 factory in each district. And then he goes to Central Region, a place called Ekunfi, says, here, I'll do pineapple juice. Today, they export this for Ghana. That's leadership. That's what you can call leadership. When a leader says that, I have come to Ghana to be president in 2017. I'm walking out in 2024, but I have not left you anything. I've left you with Ekunfi juice. That's leadership. How many, if the 4th Republic, every president was able to say, I've left you with something that I didn't come to meet. Something that wasn't there. Not some road I came to extend. Something that was not there. It was not there. I dug the pickaxe. I've left you with it. It's making money. It's creating employment for people. And by the way, they work 24 hours in Ekunfi. For whatever that information is, they work 24 hours. That's policy. So, viewers, I'm begging. Okay, I'm begging that let's get into the patriotism. Let's get into patriotism. Let's be patriotic, all of us, including NDC. I know President John Mahama. I believe that this was prepared for him. Not much research went into it. He wasn't told that his government initiated it. He wasn't told all of those things. Today he might hear. And they will go and tell him that Paul Ademoshi was saying something about you just so that he gets angry with him. But he won't get angry with me. If he calls me, I'll explain. I say, boss, I beg you, it's your people. Your people, the kind of advice they give you, boss, your people, your people. Anytime I have the opportunity to meet President, I'll tell him, that's your people. How can they give you a policy to go and say in Bono when they didn't tell you that the policy was initiated in the graphic by your government? Who did that? Whose work is that? We want to have a campaign that has meat in it. Not this kind of campaign that is immoral. This is immoral. You can't do that. Let's be patriotic. I like that song that they sing, the patriotic song. Those days, Rollins was president. They used to sing it all the time. Oh, mambe ye ya, ne free me ni wo, oh mambe ye. I have a montage on that. Ne free yenara, yenara yembra. That if the country will work or it doesn't work, it depends on us. It depends on what we do. It depends on how we conduct our lives. That's the song I leave with you with in this video. That's the song I leave you with. And please remember that any government that comes to tell you a policy or tell anything that will jeopardize the future of our children, mark them zero. If this land will work, it is because of you and I, and it's because of the way we conduct ourselves. Have a look. The text messages are coming in. I'm happy that people are agreeing with me. This is a national call, viewers. This is a national call. What is this? Oh. I have a sad news to report, separate matter. I have sad news to report. You all know by now that I had a relationship with Burma Camp where I grew up and where I was born. One of our fathers passed, and we buried him on Friday at Burma Camp. And I'd like to pay tribute to him because he was a very good man. I'm referring to Brigadier General Thomas Ingwa. And Brigadier Ingwa lived most of his life in Burma Villas in Accra. I had known Brigadier Ingwa much earlier. Well, should I say I had known him? He had known me because he knew me when I was maybe 1, maybe 2, something like that. And then when I grew up and I could remember, I know him. And I knew him as Major Ingwa. Later, he became Brigadier General. Unfortunately, he's passed. And, in Burma Camp, we lived like one community, like one family. I lived in number 27 Burma Villas. He lived in number 29 Burma Villas with his family, his children, whom we went to school together, Garrison, St. Peter's, and St. Rosie's they went to. Later on, his daughter came to Presec, actually. Thomas Ingwa is here, and I'd like to pay tribute to him. He became Brigadier General and commanded the 1st Battalion of Infantry. He's been buried this Friday at the St. Catherine's Catholic Church in Burma Camp, where, of course, I started my Catholic life as a mass server at St. Catherine's Catholic Church. That's the same church where Brigadier General Ingwa will be buried. And I have to say something about Brigadier Ingwa when I get to the photographs. But let's talk about this. The late General Thomas Ingwa, affectionately called Tom, so younger people called him Uncle Tom, was born on the 10th of August 1943 in Esiama, a town near Axim in the Zima North District of the Western Region, to Mr. Thomas Ezra Ingwa, an educationist, and Mary Afokujo, a trader. The Brigadier General had his primary education at Roman Catholic Boys' School in Dunkwa-Onofin in the central region of Ghana, and the secondary education at Fijai Secondary School in Takrady in the Western region. Brigadier Ingwa had his illustrious and prestigious military career, which spanned 4 decades. After successfully attaining the West African School Certificate, the late general was enlisted into the Ghana Military Academy, Teshi, in 1962. He was commissioned as a second lieutenant on 14 September 1963 as part of the regular career course Intake 5, and was initially posted to the Parachute Battalion and later to the 3rd Battalion of Infantry in Sunyani, where I think I first had my encounter with him in 1979, I believe. In the 3rd Battalion of Infantry, General Ingwa began his service to Mother Ghana professionally and loyally as a platoon commander. As part of his professional developments, General Ingwa participated in several military courses. Other courses he attended included the Junior Defense and Senior Staff courses at the Ghana Armed College, etc., etc. Throughout his accomplished career, Brigadier General Ingwa held several notable military and civil appointments and positively impacted many lives. Some military appointments he held included General Staff Officer, Grade 3 Operations at the Army Headquarters, Instructor at the Ghana Military Academy and Training Schools, Company Commander, 3rd Infantry Battalion, and Deputy Director, Personnel Service, Personnel Administration at the Ministry of Defense. The General also held a number of command appointments, which included Commanding Officer, 6th Training Battalion from June 1984 to September 1986, Commanding Officer, 3rd Battalion of Infantry from September 1986 to November 1987, and from June 1988 to December 1989. Brigadier General Ingwa was also appointed Commander, 1st Infantry Brigade Group from December 1992 to October 1996. He also held other notable appointments, such as Acting Chief Executive of the National Sports Council, I remember that like yesterday, in 1989, and Commissioner of Customs, Excise and Preventive Service in 1990. General Ingwa participated in numerous United Nations peacekeeping operations, etc., etc. During the latter part of his illustrious career, he was appointed as the Armed Forces representative on the Evaluation of Performance Agreements for Chief Directors and Regional Coordinating Directors Committee in December 1999, and later seconded to the State Protocol Department in January 2000. General Ingwa was honorably released on 1st June 2002 after over 40 years of service with the colours. Brigadier Ingwa was a staunch Roman Catholic, I know that for sure, and worshipped in many Catholic parishes wherever his career in the military took him, including the St. Catherine Catholic Church in Burma Camp, of course, where I was serving Mass back in the day, where at one point he served as a vice president of the church council. His final place of worship was the Corpus Christi parish in Sakumono, where until his ailing health was an active member. His social life, his hobbies include lawn tennis, football, I know, hockey, and volleyball. He loved music, especially classical gospel. He was married to, he's survived by his wife, Ma Rose, as we used to call her, but the name here is Rose, and 3 children, namely Akuba, Kwame, and Yaba, all of whom we know very well. He's also blessed with 8 grandchildren. In fact, one of Brigadier Ingwa's grandchildren is a lady who is a footballer, plays in England. She's a lady. She would have played for the Black Stars, but she's a lady. Maybe we should get her to play for Black Queens. I'll show you her photograph one of these days. She's a footballer. She's a proper. I think she plays for Celtic now. Celtic ladies. She's a midfielder. She turns round. I mean, you should see Brigadier Ingwa's one of the grandchildren. Is a great footballer. Okay, Brigadier Ingwa fought good fights through his diligent service to his family, God, and country. A beloved family man who epitomized the perfect officer and gentleman through discipline, fortitude, and integrity. In the perfect hope of the resurrection through our Lord Jesus Christ, may his precious soul rest in eternal peace. Brigadier General Ingwa will be buried in Accra this week. Friday, the service is at Bema Camp, St. Catherine's Church. I will certainly be there. And then from there, we'll move to the Arakan Mess, the 5 BN Mess, Arakan Mess, which is not far from the St. Catherine's Church, all in Bema Camp on Friday. We have a big day on Friday, big funeral on Friday. All of us from Bema Camp will be there to see off our great father, Brigadier General Thomas Ingwa. Brigadier Ingwa's photographs are here. And I have many stories, but tonight I'm sad, so I'm just going to tell you one story. So we used to play football in Colonel Topper's house. Colonel Topper had a park behind his house where all the young boys in the area play football. We don't play on Mondays, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. When we went to secondary school in boarding school and we came on vacation, we played from morning, from 9 o'clock we are playing. And so sometimes, Brigadier Ingwa is standing on his porch across the street in the house. Sometimes the ball sort of finds its way there, So the ball is there and Brigadier Ingwa is standing on his porch and he's looking out and we have to choose who is going to sort of venture. Brigadier Ingwa was very strict, so you'll be afraid of him. But if you get close to him, he's not to be feared. But if you are looking at him, he can be, you can see that he's a real soldier. So whilst we're thinking who is going to take the ball, Brigadier Ingwa picks the ball, he throws it, and he kicks it back to us. And we are so excited that those days he was Colonel, I believe. We are so excited that the Colonel kicked the ball, and he kicked it well to us. And I remember all of those things, and he likes listening to football commentary. I remember something about Brigadier Ingwa. Even when the game is on television, the Black Stars game, when it's on television, he likes to listen to the commentary. So he's not watching the TV, but he's listening to the radio. And you ask him why, he says when the goal comes, the radio will tell you first before the TV. And it's always true. The radio tells you it's a goal first before you see it on TV. I will remember Brigadier Ingwa for that. He lived a good life. He lived a full life, 80 years old and above. It's a fantastic blessing to society, blessing to the Ghana Armed Forces, blessing to the infantry unit that he joined, especially the 3rd Battalion of Infantry, blessing to the Southern Command that he commanded, and also blessing to the Customs Excise and Preventive Service that he commanded. Brigadier Ingwa, may he rest in eternal peace. On Friday, all of us who are in Bema Camp, those of you who are watching me, who are in America, Bema Camp people, as much as possible, send a representation. We'll all be there to see off our great father. Brigadier General Ingwa has passed. We'll be in Bema Camp to see him off on Friday. Okay, I'll take my confused now. Let's see what people are saying on the text messages on the brutal stories that we did. Who shall I start with? Antoinette? Okay, Fatih should start. Fatih, what are they saying?
Okay, rest in peace, Mr. Thomas, and sending my deepest condolences to his family. This is coming from Jesse Kofi Techi, and he says, Paul, I just finished taking my Ekumfi juice. It's so refreshing. Coming from Nixon Tema, and he says, Mr. Paul, Mr. Mohammed's desperation to be president at all costs leaves him making unpardonable blunders and exposing him as a weaker candidate among those expected to lead the lines for their various parties. I'm not surprised he doesn't have any idea with regards to the rule of the licential exams. Maybe he's forgotten it was in 2016 that policy came up. Laughable to say the least. Coming from Don Mike Medical, he says, I'm shy watching JM on the issue of the licensing exams. His advisors should sit up. If this is what he's bringing on board, then he should just continue being in opposition. Coming from Samuel Ofosuba, he says, good evening, Paul and your disciples. As regards to the ex-president Mahama and his political advisory board, their pomposity and arrogance have made them unconsciously responsible for what they have propounded. This kind of political hypocrisy hypocrisy must not be entertained in the Ghanaian political spectrum. The NDC and their perennial flag bearer should not behave as the proverbial ostrich in the Bible, Job chapter 39, verse 13 to 17, whom God deprived her of wisdom due to its hypocrisy. This kind of politicking is outmoded. We need politics of ideas on the social, economical, and developmentals, not this type of infantile politicking. It's toxic. Coming from Mahama Lily Rose, he says Mahama cancelled the trainee allowance, so he's trying to use this licensure exam cancellation to get their votes. Mahama is a con man. Coming from Sugi Jonas, he says Mahama has nothing to offer this country except propaganda and empty promises. His desperation is becoming too serious with empty talks. And lastly, coming from Inshiraba Anelka, she says even 8 hours economy under John Mahama, teachers worked for 3 years and they received only 2 months pay, and he's talking about 24 hours economy. What do you have for us?
Okay, from Francis, he says the license is in order and yearly or quarterly continuous professional development training. From Charles, he says, Paul, you have become Ghana's best journalist with your insightful analysis and understanding. John Mahama has been exposed for his flip-flopping. Coming from Abubakar, he says Mahama, out of desperation, is now promising cancellation of the licensure exam to the same people he refused them allowance. Wonderful. Coming from Anani Isaac, he says, I like your boldness of speaking the truth about our education. Keep it up, sir. Coming from Isaac, he says, I like your program, Paul. More educative, bro. Keep it up. And lastly, from Rashid, he says, Apostle the Great, your program must be a 24-hour program, perfect analysis, devoid of propaganda. And I would like to say rest in peace to General Ngoa. My condolences to the family. What do you ask for? Sorry. What do you have for us, Annette?
Okay, so Isa Ibrahim Baba says the inconsistencies in former President Mahama's statement is a sign of desperation. We have seen you govern before, and we can still recollect the hardships the Ghanaians went through in your regime. Inshallah, DMB will be the president in January 2025. Abdul Razak also says, with all honesty, desperation can compel someone to jump on any issue to advance his campaign. The former President Mahama is engaged in this kind of campaign by playing with the minds and emotions of teachers with a promise to cancel the licensure exams which the NDC government themselves initiated in 2016. Now, Richie Kansas says, good evening, Paul. In Central Region, we have over 4 1D1F companies, and ours is Petersfield and Ray Group in Elmina. We produce fresh pineapple ginger juice with no added sugar, which is good for sugar-conscious adults, together with mineral water. I entreat you and your viewers to try our product, and you will never forget us. Many thanks. Okay, Richie. Tom says, and lawyers don't write a certain exams to be called to the bar. Just like we have national service, after Makola, you work with the law firm to have hands-on experience. At the end of the day, you want the teachers to perform, so you have to just tackle the system. This year's SHS students performed abysmally, so should we say the policy is bad? No, we should rather just deal with the syllabus just for positive results. Adaji Xavier also says, go to private schools. The teachers there are SHS graduates, yet the students do so well. So the question is, have they also written the licensure exam before teaching? Master Planner Junior Kintampo also says, if Mahama wants to cancel licensure exams, then he should start with the nurses and doctors. He is underrating the intelligence of teachers. Doctors attend schools for 7 years, but they still write license exams after all the exams they wrote in school for 7 years. Nurses attend colleges for 3 years or 4 years, but they still write licenses exams. Why should Mahama think that teachers attend college for 3 years, so they shouldn't write exams? It means he doesn't even understand our educational system. The trainees want to know his stance on their allowances. Is he cancelling it again, or will he maintain it? And lastly, Jeffter Davis says, so the teachers who couldn't write a simple essay will now become qualified teachers after Mahama wins the exams. Very interesting. Angela, what do you have?
Right, we have Leviticus Powers Washington from Kansas saying, former President Mahama cannot scrap teacher licensure exams. He's being political. So it's like saying that because a male child's circumcision is painful for male children, then parents will stop that circumcision. Moving on, we also have from Citizen Francis saying Ghanaian teachers, like professionals worldwide, are no exception in undergoing, are no exception in undergoing licensing exams. John Mahama appears to adopt a populist and opportunistic approach to garner votes on this matter. In fact, in his previous governments, he had a similar policy ready for implementation, which was halted by his defeat in the 2016 elections. It's time for Mahama to move beyond being a populist. Ahmed from Tamale says, what does Sami Jemfi mean by JDM's 247 economy idea being usurped? They forgot the free SHS idea they rubbished and later adopted, albeit progressively. The stolen Northern Development Program idea and SADA and the this message is not clear. Please come again. Anyway, Adam Alhaj Jabril says, Paul, please, will schools also be part of the 24/7 economy? Let's say schools will be part. You can imagine. Oh, Edem Kojo says he has an interesting message for you, Paul. He says, the juice you're advertising is too expensive for the ordinary Ghanaian parents. Most parents cannot afford to give their awards a coffee juice each day. So it's of no use to produce in Ghana, and yet its citizens cannot afford to buy. Well, back to you, Paul.
Oh, it said the coffee juice is expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, they should make it cheaper. I mean, why is it expensive? I have to check how much it sells.
No, it's like
The
5
coffee
cities.
people, what?
Like 5-6 cities. Last I bought.
5 cities.
Yeah.
No, but they should make it 3 cities. But it's nice. Which one is this?
Pineapple ginger.
It's nice. It's nice. The exports in the Abrofo and the other African countries are drinking it. But it's very good. It's very, very good. Made in Ghana. It's 1:1 factory. It's made in Ghana. Ekunfi at Central Region. It wasn't there. Before 2016, it wasn't there. Somebody promised that I'll do 1:1 factory. He put pickaxe. It's nice, though. When it's cold, it's very good. Okay. Sorry. Let's take a break. I need to kill the thing, and all of us, we are holding our own, and let's take a break. So we have a short commercial break. Ebil Damina. I'll come to that conversation. And thank you all of those who saw me on the streets and said, oh, that was a great interview. Yeah, I really like that. I really, really enjoyed that. I see a stranger and I think, Paul, is that you? I said, yes. Oh, that interview with Ebil Damina was great. I said, oh, thank God. I just love it when people love the sound of the work I do. After the break, I'll talk about it. He's asking us for another interview. We'll do it. And there's people in Nigeria have been calling us. You know, Nigerians are very brutal. They're calling us, and when I put in the video on social media, it took a while. We put it on. You know, I traveled, so back and forth. We put it on I think, Sunday or Monday, something like that. And since then, they've been watching it. They've given us feedback, and they want another interview. Which was your favorite part of the interview? Maybe you can send us a text and tell us that. But for now, it's break time on Good Evening. When we come back, Alban Kingsford Sumano Bagbin says his official residence has been sold to a developer. Lands Commission says, we don't know about it. We haven't sold it to any developer. 24 hours after the speaker spoke, Lands Commission issued a statement. What is happening? Where are the records? Who wants to sell the speaker's house at cantonments? For what? After the break.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
Prepare bantama.
Matias. It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me, Judy said we use a Kel 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Kel 360 toothpaste.
Let's hear Kel 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasa. Kile kosen. Kel 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling ye. Kel 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Kel 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ambedu.
Good afternoon, Mr. Asare.
How is business doing?
My business is collapsing.
Why is your business collapsing?
I sold my products and services to my clients on credit, and my debtors are not paying their debts.
Have you heard of Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company operating in all the 16 regions of Ghana?
Not at all.
Mr. Padu, all you need to do is to contact them on their customer service line. I recommend Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company to financial institutions, businessmen and businesswomen, other companies, and also individuals. Rosic Consult has 98.4% debt recovery rate. We have professional debt recovery managers. You are assured of swift debt recovery. No recovery, no commission. For Rosic Consult Limited, no more write-offs. And we pre-finance the recovery ourselves.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bets. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
As you can see.
Discover the perfect blend of quality, modern elegance, and affordability with Kingdom Home Real Estate. At Kingdom Home Real Estate, we cater to both local and international clients, offering exceptional housing options in Ebri and Ekropon. Our properties are conveniently located, providing a tranquil atmosphere, top-notch security, and essential amenities such as electricity, water, and backup generators. Our strategic locations offer easy access to popular tourist destinations, all within a 30-minute drive from Accra. Visit us in Ekropon right after the Latte Junction, or in Ebri near the Ebri Girls Senior High School. Alternatively, you can reach us Kingdom Home Real Estate, where your dream home becomes a reality.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say. But as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation, to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
For over 20 years of serving the world with herbal and alternative medicine, we've been successful in treating complicated medical conditions with a perfect combination of herbal and alternative methods of treatment like homeopathy, naturopathy, reflexology, and many more. We deliver excellent and effective service to people from all walks of life through scientific and traditional means. We have a well-equipped laboratory with advanced diagnostic and treatment devices to help detect your illness, so we know the right medication to be given. At Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital, we are proud manufacturers of our own herbal medication. Our zeal and passion to save lives with our patients at heart and outstanding achievements since 1996 has won us several awards. That is why we say, go herbal, go Amen. We are located everywhere in all the regions. Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital. Allahu Shafi, God is the He.
Customer.
Nadabena mincha, me papa.
What you saying?
Me try 10 Ghana.
10 Ghana.
10 Ghana cedis.
No, dear, send out Benya.
10 Ghana cedis, no. Me dear, maybe 54,000 Ghana cedis.
54,000.
540 million.
Yeah, the one who make come the you is Kasek.
Yeah. And then I get I get na we. Trawa boki. Ah, draw no na assassin we. Mami me volume. Customer.
One of our daily lucky winners. Dial *946# to play now. Or you can also play online at www.gamepackgames.com. Game Park is regulated by the National Lottery Authority.
My son, there's more blessing in giving than receiving. When you fear for you and Kobo the makers in Sra no
The pneumatological abrasion of the Lord revealed unto me this night that me and my household should go out into the world and bless the world.
Makers Electronics Company Limited. Emma up to 67% discount. Our selected appliances. And
this is what I call quintessential immaculatability.
The Makers Electronics Company Limited. Ewo Taifa Burkina Highway. Amasa Zongo Junction. Edike Pharmacy Dining. Oyer Fateman Boga Junction. Ashaman Valco Flat. Kumasi. Ahinema Kokobin. Asafu Bwachi Hospital Junction. Sakrani. Number 9 Market.
Tell mom and dad about the Makers Blessing Attack promo.
From 0552 222 253 and 0552 222 254. Terms and conditions apply.
In life, choice is good, but choice plus safety is way better. Your safety and comfort is paramount. Under the cylinder recirculation model, you can buy LPG in a safe environment. All cylinders are inspected and maintained to the best safety standards, so your safety is assured. Just take your empty cylinder to the nearest exchange point and swap it for a filled cylinder. Different cylinder sizes will be available to meet your pocket size. Imagine cooking in a smoke-free environment. This will improve the health and well-being of you and your family. Choose LPG in a safer model of distribution. Cylinder recirculation model, securing your safety, creating more jobs. A message from the National Petroleum Authority under the patronage of the Ministry of Energy.
Welcome back to the show, and it's time for us to talk about the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumano Kingsford Bagbin, who was complaining, and all Ghanaians would have appreciated his complaint, that the official bungalow of the Speaker of Parliament, located at Fort Secular here in Accra, had been actually sold. Lands Commission say it hasn't. Okay, before we get to the touchscreen and deal with that, and then later on we deal with sports, Ibrahim Zebrila is here. He was at the Kumasi Sports Stadium when the Black Stars scored that late winner, and I was watching on my phone. I was so excited, I just jumped when Inaki Williams put the header in on Thursday night. Now, though, let's get back to the text messages. We'll come back and talk about Alban Sumano Kingsford Bagbin.
All right. This is coming from Elom Kwame Phillips, and he says, this is why people increasingly do not trust politicians. He is desperate. John Mahama is very desperate. Coming from Don Medical, he says, education should not be soiled with politics. In nursing school, we write university affiliations exams and then licensing exams. Why shouldn't teachers write the licensing exams? It's a shame that we are playing politics with education. And lastly, coming from Articulate Alfred Sunyani, says, Paul, next year's election is going to be very interesting. The NDC actually has nothing to offer Ghanaians. JDM is contesting because next year JDM is contesting and he's just filling the vacuum. Anyway, the NDC can't win next year's election because there is nothing new about them. The economic challenges makes them think they have a chance. The NPP has made some mistakes, but JDM is not an alternative cry. Therefore, the NPP must, of absolute necessity, break the 8 to save Ghana from JDM. Antoinette, what do you have for us?
Okay, so Richard Ayuma is educating us on what licensure exams is. He said licensure exams are tests that individuals take to obtain a license in a specific professional field. These exams are typically administered by regulatory bodies or professional organizations to ensure that individuals meet the necessary qualifications and standards to practice in that profession. Examples of licensure exams include the bar exam for lawyers, the medical board exams for doctors, and the CPA exam for accountants. Passing these exams demonstrates a level of competency and knowledge required to practice in the respective field. Thank you very much, Richard, for this education. Yakubu Adams says the interview with Dr. Damina was fantastic, and Reverend Dr. Angel Damina is too brilliant and about the word about the word of God, which is the scripture. I love his teaching about the laws of Moses and the 10 commandments. Now, Dennis Opon Yeboah also says, good evening, Paul and your disciples. I'm surprised you're now seeing the desperation in Mahama. Was it not Mahama who outlawed Okada operations in Ghana in 2012? Meanwhile, this same Mahama used legalization of Okada as his major policy in 2020 elections, just because he had a meeting with the Okada Riders Association in Accra, and they told him they voted against him because he outlawed their operations. Mahama is a desperate man, and his kind in leadership can spell doom for this country. And he adds a hashtag. He says the alternative is scary and empty. Angelo.
Okay, we've got from Kumasi Ben Christo saying, Paul, I share the man's views to that of the pastor as you saw on the social media, where he says his views are true, but it's hard for a lot of Christians to accept because we have been indoctrinated for too long. It's time for a paradigm shift in the knowledge of Christ. Long live this man of God. Now, Master Planner Junior says, while the NDC is planning to cancel licensure exams 2014, YEA alone is creating over 20,000 jobs for Ghanaian youth. CEO Mr. Kofi Ba, Japan, God bless you. Whether you're a carpenter, tailor, mason, welder, everybody will get a job to do. He says, NPP, Papa, well, back to you, Paul. Unless you will take some LPMs first. Cool. So again, from two more of our sponsors. Firstly, the Makers Electronics Company Limited saying they have their Blessing Attack promo running. Do rush to the Makers Electronics Company Limited for up to 67% discount on selected appliances such as Samsung, LG, Muved, Nasco, TCL, Madea, and Toshiba. Quality but affordable product with 2 years manufacturer defect warranty. Now, do visit our showrooms at Taifa Burkina Highway, Masamanzongo Junction, or Yarifat Taymad Boga Junction, Kaswa New Market, Tashaman Valco Flat, Kumasi, Ahenama Kokobing, Takradi Ifekuma number 9 Market, and do call us on 055-2222-253 or 055-2222-254. The Makers Electronics Company Limited, large and in charge with quality but affordable home appliances and consumer electronics. Please do note that terms and conditions do apply. Also from Armin Alternative Medical Hospital, being the first modernized herbal and homeopathy medicine in Ghana, with our trained and experienced medical practitioners from KNUST, combined with state-of-the-art medical equipment. Every hidden ailment will be diagnosed with ease and treatment will be given in no time. Now, your life is too precious, do note that. So secure good health with Armin Alternative Medical Hospital. And our working hours are 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. And on Sundays, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Locate us at Klangon on the Lashibia Shaman Road, another on the bridge. And book an appointment with us on 0207-229-505 or 0244-227-192 with Armin Alternative Medical Hospital, as always called, is the leader. What is the healer? Back to you, Paul.
All right, let's get on with the business, and we're in the final lap of the show. We get onto the touch screen just to get a few things sorted. Okay, Ibrahim will be coming up with football, but we're concerned about the speaker. The speaker gave us a bit of an alarm when he alleged massive corruption in allocation of lands, and we are always suspicious about that, aren't we? Speaker Simon Kingsford Bagbin, addressing the Speaker's Breakfast Forum, veered off a little bit to announce to the public something that was of great concern to him and ought to be of great concern to many Ghanaians too. This is how the Speaker put the concern during the forum. This is Speaker Bagbin.
The residence of the Speaker was almost sold to private sector. Actually, it was given out. It's when they went to register that Lands Commission identified that that is the residence of the Speaker. Luckily, I was inside, so it was saved. The residence of the Speaker was almost sold to private sector. Actually, it was given out. It's when they went to register that Lands Commission identified that that is the residence of the Speaker. Luckily, I was inside, so it was saved.
Very interesting humor from the Speaker. But if you listen to him well, he said he appears to suggest that it was purportedly sold, not actually sold. If you listen to him well, he says they were going to register and the Lands Commission found out, but it appeared that it had been sold, etc., etc. Lands Commission then came out with this press release. And it's entitled Rejoinder, Speaker's Residence Sold to Private Developer. The release is written on 20th of November 2023. And it reads as follows. Press release, Speaker's Residence Sold to Private Developer. The Lands Commission has become aware of reports in a section of the media suggesting that the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament's official residence at Cantonment has been sold to a private developer. The Commission wishes to state emphatically that at no point in time was the said property sold to a private developer by the Lands Commission. Records available to the Commission indicate that A, the land in question was acquired in 1920 by a certificate of title dated 7 June 1920 for government services. B, since 2003, the land has always been used as the official residence of the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament. 3, by an application dated 15th November 2022, and numbered so-and-so, Parliamentary Services applied for a certificate of allocation to regularize their occupation of the land, which measures approximately 1.66 acres. At a 64th regular meeting held on 22nd December 2022, the original Lands Commission approved the application after all statutory processes, including planning approval from the Ladadekotopon Municipal Assembly, had been duly concluded. On 14th February 2023, which is Valentine's Day this year, the Lands Commission made an offer of allocation to Parliamentary Service. Parliamentary Service accepted the offer, and after paying the requisite fees, a certificate of allocation dated 28th April 2023 was issued to Parliamentary Service. Lands Commission is therefore unaware of any purported sale of the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament's official residence to a private developer. The Commission wishes to reiterate its commitment to the prudent and efficient management of public lands in the national interest and promote effective land administration that is anchored on the highest standards of integrity, transparency, and candor. That's signed by Benjamin Arthur, the Executive Secretary of the Lands Commission. So that's the end of the Speaker's conversation. It's now 13 minutes to the top of the hour. At 10 o'clock, I'm going to invite him in, Ibrahim Zebrila. That's good evening, Mr. Speaker. Your land, your house is intact. The Speaker's residence is intact from what the Land Commission says. But good evening anyway. Alban Sumano Kingsford Bagbin, very interesting man, very interesting leader. Bagbin too is one of those people that you can say what you see is what you get, isn't it? He's one of those leaders that you see clearly. He doesn't mince words, he doesn't hypocrite, he doesn't create a facade. He just tells you what he has to tell you. Good evening, sir. Good evening. Okay, Ibrahim, please come in. Let's hear the story from you. What happened? What happened in Comoros? What happened?
Quite unfortunate. I'm very sad today.
What happened?
We lost to Comoros for the second time.
Yeah, but Black Stars couldn't put the ball in the net. The Thursday performance was not that good, was it?
It wasn't. And that's what caused for more concern today, because in the second half, the performance was a bit okay. So people were expecting the lineup for the second half for the Comoros game, but he went back to the lineup for the first half, which was horrible.
I read that when the game started. Why did he not start with Mohamed Kudus?
Mohamed Kudus, he had an injury concern, a back injury concern, so he was a doubt for the game. So that's why he wasn't risked in the first half. But when things became tougher, they decided to risk it in the second half.
Is it true that Captain Ayew didn't play well?
He didn't play well, and it's all because of his fitness. He's not been regular. He's not played any match this season. He recently got a club in France, and he's not played a single game this season so far. So it's about his fitness. He's not fit at the moment, and it showed clearly in the first half.
He couldn't run?
He couldn't make any runs. He couldn't tackle. It was very clear. He wasn't physical. He couldn't do anything really in the first half. We were almost like a man down in the first half. He didn't really play well.
Where's Thomas Partey?
Thomas is still injured. He's still even doubtful for the AFCON because we are hearing his injury might come back in January, but we are not sure about that.
AFCON is when?
It's in January. Normally, when he comes, he must get match fitness before he will even be available to play a football match. That's why he's even doubtful for the AFCON. But we are hoping.
So what does that leave us on the table?
Okay, so I don't know if they'll put it on the screen. At the moment, we have 3 points, but the group leaders are Comoros. They have 6 points from 2 games. They've won all their 2 games.
Comoros have won both of their first games.
Yes, they've won.
Who was the first game they played?
Their first game was Central African Republic.
Oh, and they beat them comfortably.
And they beat them by 4-2. And their second game was Ghana, and they beat Ghana 1-0. So they played 2 games at home. They played and they won all those 2 games. So this is the group standing at the moment. Comoros has 6 points, Mali 4 points, Ghana 3 points, Madagascar 3 points, Central Africa 1, and Chad 0 points.
How many teams are qualifying out of here?
Only 1 team will qualify. So there are 9 groups, and 9 teams will qualify out of those groups to the World Cup. Because Africa now has automatic qualification slots of 9. And the second place teams in all the 9 groups will now go and play a playoff. And the winner of that playoff will also now go and play the continental playoff to see if they can win.
The second in all the 9.
Yeah, the runners up in all the 9
teams
groups.
again.
Yeah, so 9 teams again.
They'll play what?
They'll play a playoff amongst them.
All play all?
A tournament will be organized amongst them. We don't know how that will be organized, whether they will be put in groups or
there'll be one
a
winner.
knockout, and there'll be 1 winner. And that winner will now go and play the intercontinental playoff, where they'll play with other representatives from other continents. Asia.
So for us to avoid that, we need to top this group.
That's automatic qualification. That's you top the group, you win the group. That's the only way you can qualify.
Let's do a permutation now. So how many games are left?
At the moment, we have about, I think it's about 20 games that they'll play. These 6 teams, you have to play each other. So they are playing it in a league format. So our next game will be
so 5-5,
Mali.
10 games we're playing there.
Yes. So our next game will be with Mali. That will be in March. Then
at home?
No, we'll go to Mali first before Mali will come here. And
is it the same weekend? We go there, they come here the same
weekend?
No,
they are playing the league format. So we'll play everyone before they will play the return legs in the league format. So that's how it's being played. So at the moment, Comoros have played 2 home games, and Mali have also played 2 home games.
But their next game is a home game again, Mali?
Yes. I think the second is the home game is an away game. Is the second in that fixture, because in every fixture we have 2 games in every week, in every international fixture.
So our next game is Mali in March.
Yes.
Then what do we do?
And then so right now we have to try. The thing is that the most fortunate thing were that we won our home game. If we hadn't won that one too, would have been in more dangerous situation. Because what helps in this kind of situation is that at least don't lose your home games. And if you're able to pick some points away, then you are much safer. But if you lose your
Mali is
home
now
games,
ahead of us by 1 point.
Yes, they won
so
one.
If we go to the home, they will be wanting to win that game.
Yes, they'll be wanting to win.
If they win that game, they go to 7 and we remain at 3.
And that makes things very, very, very serious for
Comoros have stolen the start.
Yes, they have.
What's their next game?
Their next game, I think they'll be playing Madagascar. They've played Central African Republic. Yes, and they beat Central Africa, so we will play Madagascar.
And they haven't played Chad?
They haven't played Chad.
Most likely they'll win that too, given how the table is looking like.
But Madagascar will also be a tough opponent for them. They're also a very good side.
Yeah, but they can afford to lose. They have 6 points. Madagascar has what, 3 points?
3 points.
So then, okay.
So that's the situation so far. So the hit is on Chris Hughton again. This has been his start so far since he came to the Black Stars.
He played 9 games, considered 10 goals.
Considered 10, scored
8 goals.
He's won 4 games.
And lost only 1.
And lost 3.
I thought he's unbeaten.
That's in competitive games.
Like how?
He
so lost friendly,
in competitive games.
The competitive games, the loss today is his first lose.
in competitive games. But if you add
but
the friendly
games, he's lost
yes, you add the Mexico and US.
His win percentage is 44.
44.4, and his loss is 33.3, and draw 22.2. So the situation now is always going to, should we take him to the AFCON? Because his contract ends after the AFCON. That's when his contract will end.
So that's end of January?
End of February. The AFCON ends in February.
But if you sack him now, you owe him.
You owe him.
So you want him to go February after AFCON, you can say goodbye.
If we are willing to take that risk, because people are saying he's not shown enough.
To win the AFCON?
Yes.
But this team that we are showing, can he win AFCON? Which department of the game are we strong?
Are we strong?
Yeah, maybe goalkeeping a little bit. From what I saw today, a bit of a good. I like Gideon Mensah though. I mean, that cross he supplied for the goal, it reminded me of
yes, I don't know if we can see that goal.
Patrice Evra, Patrice Evra of Manchester United.
Madagascar.
Those of you who are much older, you remember the German left back. His name is Paul Breitner. He played for Germany in the World Cup in 1982. Paul Breitner was one of the best left backs of the day. I was very small, but I remember him because my parents were excited about Paul Breitner. My father and his friends used to talk about Paul Breitner. And now I grew up, Kwesi Appiah also had that kind of thing, the way Gideon Mensah plays the left back. I think that was a super cross. Yeah. Can we see that goal, the Ghana goal against
Madagascar and Kumasi?
Madagascar. We'll talk about the video.
Last minute goal.
Yeah, it was 95?
That's 95.
Yeah. There you go. So that's, 95. I mean, Gideon Mensah has shown. So Baba Rahman doesn't play anymore?
He still plays football, but he doesn't come to the national team.
Yeah, so that's the ball coming through the middle.
Yes.
Yeah.
To Gideon Mensah at the moment.
So Gideon has it. He sort of starts the move.
Yeah, he will pass it in and it will come back to him.
And then he runs to take position.
So keep your eye on the clock and see the minutes.
Oh, wow. That was good. That was Patrice Evra.
On the stroke of the 5th minute.
Of the 95.
49. Yes.
That's like Patrice Evra. I think Gideon Mensah is a bright spot in the team.
And the roar in the stadium that they have never heard.
You were there.
It was massive. It was a huge relief for us.
How did people leave the stadium? In celebration?
Yes, people were happy. Especially because it was Inaki. People were waiting for that Inaki goal.
Yeah.
They were waiting, and Inaki played very well that day too. He played very well.
But today he didn't turn up well. Did he? He had a begging chance that he should have headed home, didn't he?
Yes, he had a chance that he should have really scored, but he missed it. The first opportunity actually fell to Antoine Semenyo, about the 3rd minute in the goal or so. Antoine Semenyo, and he missed it. That was a very clear opportunity that he should have scored today. And if he had scored that goal, Ghana would have been a bit easier, had the game easier. But we missed a lot of chances today.
Including Jordan's header.
Yes. Yeah, those were the 3 people who missed a lot of chances today. Jordan, Antoine Semenyo, and Inaki Williams.
I see the Super Eagles are struggling too all over the place.
Yes, they also have 2 points from 2 games. Out of 6 points, they have 2 points. They were very lucky that South Africa couldn't also win their game today. South Africa would have also gone 6 points, but South Africa lost to Rwanda by 2 goals.
Rwanda?
Yes.
Beat South Africa?
Yes.
In Kigali?
Yes.
Oh,
by 2 goals to 0.
Was Paul Kagame in the stadium? That's going to be massive. Kigali is going to turn upside down. They beat South Africa.
Yes, so that group has also been thrown wide open because of that result. If South Africa had won, they would have also had a huge advantage for winning their 2 games.
But did Rwanda lose their first game?
Rwanda drew their first game, so they have 4 points.
So they are better points than South Africa then?
Yes.
And better than Nigeria too?
Nigeria, yes.
So they may be topping the group?
Yes, they are topping the group at the moment.
Rwanda is?
Rwanda.
Wow.
Yes, so there are a lot of minnows who are coming up wide now. If you see the results, even this evening, Togo held Senegal to a 0-0 draw.
With Sadio Mane in?
Yes. And I think it was even played at a neutral ground.
Why?
Because stadiums in Togo were not approved. A lot of the teams are actually playing neutral grounds.
Because
teams like
FIFA
Gambia
doesn't approve their stadium.
Their stadium.
I see.
They don't have the standard stadium to host such matches.
So the World Cup qualifier.
Yes. even in Ghana, it's only Baba Yara that can hold. That was
Accra cannot.
Accra cannot.
Why?
Cape Coast cannot. They don't have the after checking the facilities, the pitches and the facilities, they saw it's not at the standard of holding such matches.
Why, so, scoreboard or what? Dressing room?
The pitch is also part. They check the dressing room too. Yes, it's also
the
part.
The Comoros pitch looks problematic.
Yes,
but it's passed the test.
That was what we were conversing about. That you approve Comoros pitch but disqualify Cape Coast because there is no much difference between the Comoros pitch and the Cape Coast pitch. So that's another situation. But at the moment in Ghana, it's only Baba Yara that can hold a standard football game. So even Mediama, who are in Africa, and also Dreams FC, who also play in the Confederation Cup, will all be using the Baba Yara Sports Stadium as their home ground. They chose Accra Sports Stadium and this team, but all were disqualified by CAF, and so now they will all be using Baba Yara Sports Stadium. That's another concern. We don't have facilities at the moment, coupled with our bad performance. So these were the results that we had today. Ethiopia, Burkina beat Ethiopia. So Rwanda beat South Africa over there. Lesotho drew with Benin. So Lesotho were the same team who drew with Nigeria in their first game in Nigeria. So they played 1-1 with Nigeria. So they have 2 points at the moment.
Botswana beat Guinea, interesting.
Yes. And Cape Verde beat Eswatini. Somalia lost to Uganda.
Tunisia beat Malawi 1-0.
Tunisia beat Malawi 1-0. And South Sudan and Mauritania played a draw. Togo, Senegal 0-0. Mauritius, Angola to 0-0. Libya, Cameroon 1-1. Sao Tome.
Libya held Cameroon to a 1-1 draw.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. Sao Tome and Principe and Namibia 0-2. Comoros beat Ghana. Morocco beat Tanzania. And Niger also beat Zambia. So these are the results that we had today. So this was the starting lineup for our first game. Our first game. So you realize in our first game in the midfield, we used Abdul Samad and Baba, who are two defensive midfielders, because Thomas Partey was not around. And a lot of people found it problematic because if Thomas is not around, these two are defensive midfielders. They are not creators. They are not creative players who can create a lot of chances. So it caused problem for us in the first game where we were not creating enough chances. We couldn't progress the ball into the opponent's half. So the Madagascar.
But Kudus can create chances. He's a ball player.
Kudus is more of a ball holder than a creator. He's not too much of a creator.
Okay.
Even if he creates for himself to score. Like he scores goals by himself. But he's not someone you can rely on to create chances consistently. So this caused the problem in the first half. So in the second half,
so we're lacking the role of a number 8.
Yes.
No
and
number
a creative,
8
no number 8.
Kudus, you put him at 10.
At 10.
Okay.
So in the second half, he switched. He made changes and took out Baba Idrisu and brought in Majid Ashimeru, who is also a very good creator.
He did well.
And he came in and the game completely changed in the second half, and we started dominating and started creating chances until we were able to score. So many people were thinking that going into this game, since that worked for you, he was going to maintain that.
To start with that.
Unfortunately, he went and he maintained the Baba Idrisu and the Abdul Samad combination again in midfield.
He's been attacked for that on social media.
Yes.
Many people are criticizing him.
Yes, because if it worked for you in the second half,
there was no reason why he should start the old lineup again.
Because these two are not creatives at all. They are players that you use them in a situation where maybe you are playing a low block, a team who is very good at attacking, and you want to defend very well. So you are playing a low block. That's where you have two defensive midfielders, really. So you use two defensive midfielders, a game against Comoros, who you are expected to score against. It became very problematic. So even in the second half, he now had to take out Samad and bring Ashimeru in again, and it was too late. That was one of the problems of Chris Hughton. He always grinds out results. And in football, when you are always relying on grinding out results, there is a day that you are not going to be lucky enough to be able to get that result. Because you watch all his matches against Angola in Kumasi, the same thing happened. Angola scored first. We equalized, and we had to score a last-minute goal again by Antoine Semenyo in order to be able to get a 3 point there. We went to Angola. Angola scored us first. Then we were able to equalize back and get a 1-1. And then in Madagascar to the same thing, he had to grind out the result. And so you go to this thing, you're expecting that you'll be able to grind out the result. It will not always work that way for you. It will work 1-2, but it will always not work that way for you.
And that's the criticism of players.
That's the criticism about him, that he's been in the team for a very long time. He even went to the World Cup with them. But we still don't see anything new that he has brought into the team. The team is not playing differently from the way before he came. And that's the main criticism that many people think he's not doing well enough for the team. Because as a coach, when you come in, at least we should see that there's a difference in play. And one thing too is that there's no call-up, there's no player that you say that this is a Chris Hughton call-up. Like this is a player that Chris Hughton himself have gone out to scout and brought into the team. Someone like Kwesi Appiah was credited with scouting a lot of players and bringing them into the Black Stars. But we've not seen that with Chris Hughton. All the players that he mostly calls up are call-ups that were previously done by Otoado and Milovan Rahivac. Those are mainly the call-ups. We've not seen any different player who has been scouted and brought in. And many also complain that the quality is not good. So if the quality is not good, why are we not expanding our scouting team enough to be able to bring in more talent into the team? That too has not been done. And so we still have the same players who we are always recycling and managing. And it's not working, but we are still doing it. We are still doing the same thing. It's very pathetic.
Hopefully, we'll get on. Let's do the last round of text messages and then we'll leave it here. It's past 11 o'clock. Thank you, Ibrahim. Is there something else?
Yeah, the health walk.
Your health walk. Yeah,
yes,
talk about
yes,
it.
Yes. So we're having a health walk, 360 business health walk.
24th December.
Yes, this is 24th December.
Christmas Eve.
Yes,
in Ashaman.
In Ashaman. So this is our 5th edition. Last year's edition, this was it.
That's massive.
Yes.
Oh, that's massive.
Yes. So we're asking anyone who wants to support.
To donate.
Yes, to support to us.
To give you a coffee juice or something.
Of course, we'll be very happy.
And water.
And water and beverages and all that.
Okay. We'll deal with it. We'll talk about it again on Thursday.
Okay.
Let's get a text messages. Fatih, you start first, the concluding text messages. Thank you, Brian.
All right. This is coming from Nana Kofi, and he says, it's time we go back for a striker from Niger and invite Fabio Gama to the Black Stars, a team which can't create chances nor score with ease. When did you notice that? For me, it's been persisted for ages and nothing is being done about it. And lastly, coming from Yusuf Mohammed, he says, just tell Paul the truth, Ibrahim. The team isn't good enough and we are not picking the best players. Osman, Kudus, Nuama and others are not negotiable and they should be the starters at all times. These are the players scoring for their clubs. We should look at Mediama players as well as some local players who I believe are currently better than most of these redundant foreign professionals. And lastly, coming from Yusuf, he says, Mr. Paul, I'm Mohammed from La Paz. In fact, the Black Star coach must be sacked. He cannot do his job well.
Coming from Gasti, he says, I don't know why any reasonable person would like Muhammad to come to power again, because he doesn't seem to understand many of the things he puts across. For instance, his 24 hours economy. I cannot get the head and toe. He's unable to even explain it. Coming from Emmanuel, he says, Mr. Paul, please, is it licensure or licensing exams? There are two things. Which of them did the NDC introduce? Over to you, Anne.
Thank you. So it still seems people are still hung on the licensure exam conversation. Edward Dubaza says, Paul, you should have found out what or how this licensure exam is being conducted now. Now, the candidates either bribe other teachers to write it for them or they bribe those conducting the exams themselves. Real Maxby says, tell Muhammad he should not worry himself at all because he is neither coming today nor tomorrow to change anything. Licensure exam has come to stay. Asante also says he should have cancelled the license of nurses and midwives as well because they are all professionals. And lastly, Maxwell Songo says you should have read the details of how the NDC were going to implement the licensure exam cancellation rather than just the headline. Yesterday, OKFM read all the NDC policy documents on it, and it is not how the NPP currently implements it. So please do read in detail. Over to you, Angelo.
A comment from Tabale says, nice, heavy exposure punch. The alternative is really hollow. Jesus. Stop licensure, he asks. Joe, watching us from Teshinua Estate, says, Paul, I'm a great fan of yours, but as for this IGP story, I think you've hit below the belt. I do recall that you also stood in a line to buy Wachi. Give the man a chance to be human. Kwesi Reynolds from Agona Odobin says, I think by now JM himself doesn't thoroughly understand the 24-hour economy. He must come again. And briefly, if I may, our last two sponsors. Let's hear from Kingdom Home Real Estate saying, they offer quality but affordable housing and facilities for sale with facilities located at the serene environments of Ikuaping Okropong with with the best weather condition. Being 30 minutes drive from Accra, they provide a modern touch of comfort. Pay 20% upfront and spread the rest of the 30% within 2 years with zero interest. Now do locate us at Ebri close to the Ebri Girls Senior High School and Ikuaping right after Latte Junction. And call us on, please write this number down, 0559 761 144 or 0555 61 611. Now visit our website, www.kingdomhomerealestate.com, and our Facebook page. Also from Nadim Auto Fix. They're the biggest car service center here in Ghana, offering a wide range of auto services in real time with well-trained staff in various departments such as auto mechanic, auto electrician, straighteners, welders, sprayers, and bodyworks. At Nadim Auto Fix, We offer 24/7 towing services to all our clients, so you can conveniently bring your immovable car to our service center, with services including car diagnostics, mechanical works, auto servicing and oil change, alignments and balancing, body works and spraying, car detailing, steam engine wash, and sale of car batteries. We also have installed car tires of all rim sizes at a wholesale or retail price, and we fix them for free actually when you buy them from us. We work 24/7, so you can drive through any time, and locate us at Downhall, directly opposite Dansuman KFC at the Shell filling station. And do call us on 055-830-8340. Back to you, Paul.
Okay, I was reading through the text messages and it looks very interesting, but we have to leave it here because it's time, isn't it? Every good thing comes to an end. We'll be back on Thursday with another edition of the program. It's not a very good day for Ghana football. The Black Stars beating and wondering how our World Cup chances would look like. It's always a pleasure coming to you. Thanks for watching. Good evening, Ghana. Good night.
Discover the perfect blend of quality, modern elegance, and affordability with Kingdom Home Real Estate. At Kingdom Home Real Estate, we cater to both local and international clients, offering exceptional housing options in Ebri and Ikropong. Our properties are conveniently located, providing a tranquil